Okay, I actually waited long enough to start this video out so Tiffany won't have to yell at me or cut me off at the ankles. But welcome to Tiffindale Rescue Realtors. And I don't even know what else to say this today.
Hi, guys.
Oh, yeah, that. Hey, how are you?
This might be coming to you on a Friday.
This is coming to you on a Friday because we try to drop all of our stuff on Fridays. Every now and then we get a little bit delayed.
Sometimes I get busy.
Because hopefully real estate is picking up. Real estate is picking up, and we're having to do more of the real work of real estate to where we can earn a real living in real estate and have time to help you guys out.
Believe it or not, we don't make money on this.
Oh, yeah. Well, we should. But, yeah, maybe so. But whatever. We have a good time doing it.
Yeah, we do.
Today, I think we're going to try to stay focused, and we're going to talk about marketing 2.0. And it stems from way more than what we normally think. I was on a call this morning with someone that was doing some stuff, and we'll talk about that in a second. And I thought, this is kind of a cool thing. And then Tiffany texted me these little thing talking about all this social media stuff. And then she showed me how, look, if you go search this way, all your stuff comes up. So we're going to talk about that.
Yes.
And we're going to do it a little different because we're going to kind of do it like I'm going to interview Tiffany.
I am scared.
She's the marketing guru of everything.
I don't know about that.
So why don't you tell us a little about your qualifications and why you're a marketing guru?
Well, I actually have a degree in marketing.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
But honestly, the hard part about having a degree in marketing is I graduated in 2008. So marketing's changed a lot since when I learned about marketing.
Dare me.
Obviously your basic premise is there, finding your target audience and, the 4 Ps of marketing, which is like product, place, people, and promotion or something like that. Wow, I feel like I'm going back to college and being tested. But the implementation of marketing has changed vastly with the introduction of social media and the introduction of how many people are on the internet and having phones and everything in our pockets. We had Blackberries back then, but it wasn't. I feel like I'm talking about the dark ages.
So if I remember my dates right, didn't Facebook become public in 2009?
It became public in 2009, but it came out in 2005.
Okay, so you're saying that your actual marketing degree, except I know you've kept up with all this stuff better than that. You graduated before Facebook was even something, right?
No, because Facebook was available to college students only when I was in college.
Facebook, when it was available to college students, is not the Facebook of today.
We jumped ship when they opened it up to our parents, and then we came back.
Right.
We went to MySpace for a little bit.
Oh, I remember MySpace.
But I learned how to write code on MySpace, so it wasn't a total loss.
I remember learned to write code on the Commodore 64 computer.
Oh, my God.
Where you could do an addition problem, and that was about all. This was the first.
I feel like you're talking about an Excel equation.
Oh, no. This was written in BASIC. Oh. The computer language BASIC.
You actually had to write,
everything.
So did you learn HTML?
They didn't have HTML for a Commodore 64.
No, they did not. They came out later once you actually had graphics.
Well, you had BASIC and then you had DOS. And then you had HTML. It was like crazy. So, okay.
Back on topic.
No, we never left topic. Actually.
No, we kind of didn't.
No, so we're going to pull it back, and we're going to go, okay, so when I started in real estate, which was a long time ago, certainly before the internet.
Right.
Certainly before really cell phones. I had a cell phone.
You had your Flintstone car, too.
No, I didn't have my Flintstone car. I had a real life car. It was big. Yeah, it saved me in a couple of car wrecks. But I had to, here was my marketing as a real estate agent. I could do mailings.
Okay.
I could answer my telephone.
Okay.
I could sit in my office and
do phone duty.
Yes. And I could put ads in newspapers.
Now, I'm going to interview.
Or I could door knock.
I'm going to interview you really quickly because I know that also the brokerage relationship has shifted a lot too. So back in that time, were you expected to do as much heavy lifting on the marketing aspect of it, or did your brokerage do a lot of it for you too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
No, We normally send out just listed, just sold cards to around 100 to 200 people around the properties. We might have placed our own ads in the newspaper if we wanted to.
And you're saying we as in the
We
agent.
as in the agents,
Okay.
yeah. But the brokerage ran ads in the newspaper, which is a thing you used to get like on Sundays, every day, but on Sundays there were big giant sections.
It was all the boring stuff before you read the funnies.
Yeah, correct. Classified ads, that kind of stuff. Usually the brokerage did that. Brokerages used to play a much bigger role in our job than what they do now. And so that was my marketing toolkit.
And if people wanted to sell a house and they didn't know anybody, they would like call Keller Williams or Remax.
Yeah, Keller Williams.
Or
Really
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They would call the big offices.
Yeah, hey, for any of you old guys that happen
They
to
would
listen.
get the phone book out.
William Rigg.
okay.
Rigg. Henry S. Miller Residential.
They would get the phone book out and call Abby Halliday.
Oh, I forgot about phone books. We could advertise on the phone book.
The white pages, the yellow pages.
And so when I started, that's kind of what we did. We had business cards, we had ads, we had cell phones, but they were like
expensive as hell.
$200 or $300 a month for like 140 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Could y'all imagine Dale trying to talk for less than 140 minutes a
oh,
month?
absolutely not. It doesn't work. And the other thing we used to do is we put our home phone number landline on our business cards.
Oh.
So with the advance of cell phones, we learned real fast to get that off of there because people ain't got no respect about calling you at 2 o'clock in the morning if
They
they have.
still don't have any respect about calling you at 2 in the morning. They'll just text you now.
But you control these things
That's
a
true.
lot better.
Yeah.
So that's what we had.
Okay.
And I think today, mailings are kind of coming back.
Yes.
Because direct mail, letters, postcards.
EDDM, everyday direct mail.
Oh yeah. That's certainly a thing. But you have to do it in big quantities. But I was talking to a person today, and that's what they promote doing a postcard campaign and that kind of stuff. But all of that now, anything you do, whether it's a business card, a postcard, any of the what I call old-fashioned marketing, you have to supplement that with the social media marketing, which can stand on its own to a certain level and or be just that, be a supplement to it. So I guess today, what I'm going to talk to you about mostly is where do we need to be? What platforms do we need to be on? And what are some ways to get our names out there and all of that? So let's start with the big one. Facebook. Do we have to be on Facebook?
Yes, absolutely. If you're on anything and just one thing, it needs to be Facebook. Because Facebook is the platform that has the most users, the most visits per day. More people spend time on Facebook than any other site. It's funny, we talked about this being marketing 2.0, but we talked about this earlier, and social media is referred to as web 2.0. So more people are on social media than any other website. So you might think, oh, I have a website. Well, that doesn't mean anything because that you can go there to get information, but Facebook is where you're able to actually engage with your customers. You're able to post up-to-date things. People want new information. They don't want to just go to a website and see houses for sale because your IDX fills in through the MLS. They could do that on Zillow. And they could do that on Realtor.com or Trulia or any of the other
all the big
massive
behemoth
sites.
Aggregator sites.
Yes.
That there is no way an individual agent can compete with that.
It's cute, it's fun, it's cool to have, but it's really something that it's kind of like Dale said with having the mailers. I mean, websites are almost kind of right up there with mailers a lot of times. It's a good place to go and get your information, but a website now could also be your Facebook business page. That can be your website. You can have your URL for that. You can create QR codes for it. You can promote that as your actual website, which a lot of people do. And that way they're getting more information from you and not just able to contact any other realtor because they're on Zillow. So Facebook.
Okay.
You need to be on Facebook.
I agree with Facebook. Certainly that's because it was really the first big one I think that kicked out there. I was going to say something NAR statistic that popped into my head. What's the average, the normal number for if an agent has a website, how many leads do they get per year off of their personal website?
Oh, that's a you question. I
know.
don't know the
I was posing it to you, but I was going to answer it. The
probably
answer,
0.
That is correct.
That's literally what I'm thinking is 0.
On what we think of as a traditional website, leads for the agents are typically not generated.
Well, and even my photography website is primarily a platform that provides me with a portfolio of sorts so that people can see my work, but they can also see that on my Facebook page. But I mainly use it because I use it to send out galleries to clients. That's what it's there for. That's why I have it. Other than that, I don't really get anything from my website for photography either.
Right.
And
kind of weird.
Most things when I post, like I have a set thing of images on my website, but if you want to see continuous work that I'm doing, Facebook and Instagram is where they're posted.
Well, okay, good transition.
There you go.
So Facebook's the behemoth.
Mm-hmm.
It's the granddaddy. Is it just the granddaddy because that's the demographic most people are looking at for the house buying years?
I think that Facebook is the would you call it a granddaddy?
I did. I called it the granddaddy.
The granddaddy. I mean, if you really think about it, it is kind of the forefront of social media sites. So it really kind of is the grandfather, and everything else is an afterthought. But I think that it's primarily the bigger platform because it's so broad and encompassing. You can do just about anything on Facebook from your own Facebook page. I mean, we actually have, if you look at my Facebook page and the different business pages I have set up from my business page, it's like a branch, it's like a tree. Whereas on Instagram, you can have different...
we haven't talked about Instagram yet.
Okay, but I'm comparing it. But
you can't compare it because we don't know about it.
Okay, so the answer is because you can get more information from it. Twitter is just a couple of different things or links.
Twitter's just a big battle.
Facebook kind of combines everything and makes it one. So it's like, does that make sense? Is that helping?
I think so. So let's do your comparison thing now because that's where I was.
And it has the larger number of demographics.
But you were jumping. Yeah, Facebook's the behemoth. Yes. And I think, and I could be wrong, it probably today has an older demographic overall than I keep calling it Facebook. It's really now Meta, or Meta's the granddaddy or the owner of the grid.
They own it all.
So is Instagram, can I just do Facebook and be okay, or do I need to mix it with Instagram too?
It depends on who you're targeting.
Okay.
So that's going to be something that you really need to think. When you're thinking about marketing, who do you want to work with most? And if you're also thinking about it from that, we talk about all the time, your sphere of influence is your number one source of referrals and things of that nature. So where are your peers going to be utilizing social media more likely? So if you ask yourself that question, you think most people that I know are on Facebook and not on Instagram, then you're fine being on just Facebook. You don't really need to be on Instagram. But if you want to open yourself up to more consumers and open yourself up to a different demographic, then you really need to start playing with different platforms where demographics that are different than your own are going to be. Okay, so Facebook and Instagram are sisters and they interact really well together. Do. To a certain extent, yes. Most of the time whenever I post on Instagram and just have it feed straight to Facebook. And I get 2 posts with one a day. Got it. Okay. Unless it's a reel. So you want to look for your demographic, your avatar, your ideal client. Your target audience is the... So I have a lot of people that like OnlyFans. Should I post on OnlyFans? You do you, boo. I think you need to figure out however you want to sell, and some things... people sell pictures of their feet on OnlyFans. They might be able to sell houses. I know. Thought so too. How do you make a house sexy? Paint it black. Okay. I don't know. Hey. We have seen some stuff. Let me tell you. Okay, so let's get back on track because I wanted to throw us off. Yeah. We have Facebook. Yes. We have Instagram. Yes. We have, what's the next best place in your opinion to reach that audience? What is there a third platform? Is there? Because there are many. If you're looking, I would say YouTube. It's harder to build an audience. It's harder to build a base, but once you get it there, then you're good. Because in the terms of social media, if you have more followers and more subscribers, people are more likely to use you because they trust you. And that's kind of where we get into kind of the influencer aspect of things. And that's why if you have somebody that you follow and you really like, you're going to follow them on all their platforms, but you're also going to trust them because, hey, I really like this person. They're promoting this product on, their channel. I'm going to go check it out.
Okay.
For example,
Go ahead.
I watch Bailey Sarian. I like her YouTube channel, and she is usually sponsored by somebody because she's bigger. And one of those is like Casetify, which is cases for your phone. I usually just shop on Amazon for my cases. But I actually went to check out the website for Casetify and see what they had to offer because, hey,
why not?
She's cool.
Because Bailey Sarian's
she mentioned
cool.
it.
Yeah.
Whatever. I wouldn't have known about it other than that. So it's about building trust and a relationship with your consumer base.
Okay. So I've heard that really, I say Facebook's the biggie, the Instagram, those two guys, I kind of link those together in my head.
Yeah, they are kind of the same.
YouTube, I've heard, is actually a better platform to build on because it's the second largest search engine that's owned by the first largest search engine in America.
That,
I have an opinion on this, and I'll
yes.
share it in a minute.
And I have an opinion on it also because of the experience that I've gathered from doing this show.
Yeah.
And I feel like it really kind of just depends too. I mean, what kind of content are you putting out there? How frequently are you putting it out there? And then there's also, you really need to get into search engine optimization, SEO, a lot when it comes to YouTube. And I'm reading, I listened to a book recently on Audible about it as well, because kind of like you said, my degree's in marketing, but my degree's in marketing from 2008. So I'm continually learning on things and trying to evolve and grow because
well, even if your degree was from 2023, it would have changed by now.
Yeah, you need to know what's kind of going on and everything like that. And if you don't actually have any subscribers, it doesn't really mean anything unless you're utilizing link backs. And it will eventually grow, but it's going to be time consuming. There's a way on YouTube that you can actually buy followers and buy subscribers, but at the end of the day, once you get into Google Analytics and how Google runs their algorithm whenever they are doing searches and deciding whenever somebody types in XYZ, how far up you populate on the search engine, they'll realize if there's bots in there and they'll start to pull it out. So you might think that you've got a really good following and you're doing really well for a minute, but you really do need organic followers.
Yeah, I've heard that too. And SEO is boring to me, so we're going to move past that one at the moment.
But it's important.
Not that it's not important. No, that's not it.
Link backs are the most important thing.
We only have so much time on here.
Okay.
So let me give you my thing on YouTube versus Facebook and all. One, YouTube, I think, is a much more difficult platform to create content where YouTube likes it.
100%. It's also a lot more difficult to post on YouTube. You can literally just share things. You could share things on YouTube too, but Facebook is a lot more user friendly. So if you really think about it in terms of, I'm gonna make this analogy because people are gonna get really polarized on it. It's like Apple versus Android. Apple has a very user-friendly user face. Everybody can use it, and it's
sorry.
As far as iOS,
Apple is that? Oh no, that is very true.
The iOS, and a lot of people don't like Android because they're a little bit more complicated to use. But once you start using them, you realize they have a lot more capabilities and things like that.
That's a myth, by the way.
I clearly use Android, but really, it's kind of like that when you think about it. Like Facebook is Apple. They actually, and I say this all the time, without Apple, there would be no, Samsung, there would be no Android and things like that. So Apple is the forefront of that technology, and they got it down. They got their consumer base. They got their trust people in there, and they figured out how to make it work for people and how people know how to use it and make it easy for them. Facebook is that way. Facebook is very easy to use. It doesn't take a lot of thought process. It's very easy to navigate. Now they also have the marketplace, so you can get on Facebook and get sucked in. You can also get on YouTube and get sucked in. But it's a lot easier for you to interact on Facebook than it is on YouTube. And some people say, well, I don't have a Gmail, and then, I don't want to subscribe to anything, things like that. But posting on YouTube is more complicated because you have to actually create videos.
Correct, yes.
That's the hardest part. You can go in and post a picture, but it's going to get lost. The premise of YouTube is videos. If you don't want to do videos, there's no point in being on YouTube.
Okay, so we're going to wrap this up, and then we're going to wrap up and come back kind of to that too. So the one big thing, I'm not talking about SEO or all that stuff, that I really barely understand is that tic-tac-toe sign.
Hashtag.
And something in behind it. Like hashtag Tiffindale, hashtag Focus on Homes, hashtag Dale Irwin.
So they can be annoying. They really can. They can be even more annoying when you're actually typing them. But they are actually useful for business. And that's because they provide something that I was just talking about that you think is boring with SEO is called link backs. So you can utilize them to link back to your page. For example, Tiffindale. I always put hashtag Tiffindale Rescue Realtors on everything that I post for our social media. If I post it on Instagram, if I post it on Facebook, if I post it on YouTube, that's the hashtag. You can go into any of those platforms and type in hashtag Tiffindale and we will pop up. You can also go into Google and type in hashtag Tiffindale and it will pull up our YouTube, our Instagram, and our Facebook pages.
Okay.
I do it with my real estate for Focus on Homes. So it is a calling card of sorts. And I've actually, if I am doing something that is a quick little marketing thing, like for example, I'm sponsoring something and I can just put my logo on it. I put my logo, my name, call my realtor, and then I put my phone number, and then I put hashtag Focus on Homes.
Okay, so old dude here, I'm like, who searches with a hashtag? I don't go in and go, I'm going to go look up my local grocery store and type in hashtag Kroger.
Millennials do it.
Okay, and what's a millennial?
Me.
I'm
kind
kidding.
of. I'm an old millennial, but no. It's useful because you don't even necessarily need to put the hashtag in. Like if you're looking for something on Instagram, you're like, oh, I want to find them, but I don't know their call sign. I don't know whatever. You could just type it in and it'll pull up. You could search by hashtag, account, person, whatever. There's different ways you could search on Instagram. You could even just post because of the words that you're seeing, and this goes back to the boring SEO things. It just says Tiffindale, and it's a link. The more link backs you have to your page or to something, the more it's going to get kicked up into the top of Google searches. Okay. So you also can use hashtags in reference to things that you are selling. So, hashtag Fort Worth real estate. And I actually, this is a truth, I was wanting to find a tattoo artist in Fort Worth.
Why?
Because I was looking at getting a tattoo, but I went into Instagram and I searched hashtag Fort Worth tattoos and just started going down a rabbit hole of finding tattoo artists and different things and finding, especially with something like that because it's very image oriented. So I wanted to see whose art I liked the most.
That makes sense.
So if you think about that, people like to search online for homes first. And if you have really cool real estate content and like people can look through houses, and people like to look at houses. That's why HGTV is so successful.
How about, could you do like hashtag primary bedrooms?
You could do that.
Would people look for that?
Probably not. You can look up like what the most successful hashtags are for what you're trying to sell.
And where can I do that?
Google.
Google?
You could Google things.
Do you know?
Did you know that you can Google things you don't know?
I think we will wrap this with that.
Hold on. That there is a website and it's called Let Me Google That For You. And if somebody's asking you a really stupid question that they should know the answer to, or they should just be able to Google themselves, you go to letmegooglethatforyou.com, you type in like, how old is the queen? And then it gives you a link and you send it to them and it pulls up a Google thing and then it watches it type in how old is the queen and then it pulls up the search results.
That's funny. So hashtags are a link back for SEO, and they're kind of like a categorizing. This is not where I was going, but I will. How many hashtags should I put on my post? Because I've heard if you put too many...
If you put too many, you're annoying.
You're annoying. And if you don't put enough, it's kind of like,
I think you need to put the ones that are most valuable.
And does it matter by platform, too? Because I've heard that many, many times before.
Here's what matters with hashtags. This is what you absolutely need to remember. No matter how many you post, no matter which ones you decide are most important to you, every time you put them, you need to type them in. Do not copy and paste. They do not like that.
Now that is irritating. Because there's so many times when we put stuff out there that, like a Tiff and Dale video, it's like, here, hashtag the subject, hashtag this, hashtag Tiff and Dale, hashtag real estate, hashtag Dale Irwin, hashtag Tiffany McDonald.
Well, I don't hashtag us.
I know,
tag
but
us.
I'm just making stuff up. But all of those, except for like one, you could copy and paste. So
Yeah.
you're not supposed to do that?
You're not supposed to copy and paste. It's annoying. It was an article that I read recently whenever I was learning that right after we put out the technology video, that the Instagram CEO mentioned that he focused too much in 2022 on video, and he's going to go back to focusing on photos
I heard
more
that too.
on the page. So we can also do something on carousels. But if you're follow us on Instagram, and you'll see a carousel that I posted, because I posted this whenever I found out about that revelation. But in that article, it mentioned that, as annoying as it is, you need to type them out.
Man, on that note, I'm depressed.
Yep.
And
You're depressed. I'm the one that posts.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I don't think I have ever typed a hashtag in any post I've ever done.
Yeah, don't copy
Now,
and paste.
Tiffany has, but I haven't. So on that, we will kind of wrap up for today. We really do try to stay current on what's going on. I'll also say we do not recommend tattoos, even though Tiffany was searching for a
have a
tattoo
tattoo.
artist. I know you have a tattoo. Many people I know have tattoos. But what I'm saying is we do not recommend tattoos.
Is this a disclaimer thing to keep
This
us
is
from
a
getting in trouble?
disclaimer. This is a no.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, public service announcement from Dale.
PSA.
Don't go get a tattoo.
We are not recommending it, but if you want to do it, do what you want.
No, I am in control. No tattoos. Actually, I've heard all kinds of cool tattoo stories. They're not, man, used to. I was adamantly opposed.
I thought we were getting off.
We are.
Okay.
But I had to talk about tattoos. So we do try to stay current on what's happening in the marketing world and all.
And as should you.
And it changes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I'll say to that is pick something and do it consistently.
Yes.
And you can't do like we used to do 30 years ago. You got to pick something and tie it with social media. And you're going to have little arms that have to be done because that's marketing in 2023.
And really, in anything in life, consistency is key. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Just be consistent.
But hey, you know what? Guess what? Follow us. Say the rest.
Please follow us on Instagram and Facebook and like our things that we put out. Please comment on them and then subscribe to our YouTube channel.
There you go. Oh, and I didn't even
We'd really appreciate it.
And I didn't even get to talk about TikTok.
Oh, no, that one's not. No, it's fine.
The
Okay,
most
guys.
addictive site on social media stuff. But guess what? Do all that stuff that Tiffany said because it's important. It's important to us. If you have any questions or comments, post them down there at the bottom. Ask us questions. Do whatever. If you don't have any questions, find us as we're wandering around the streets of Fort Worth, looking at houses, doing videos, etc., running tour meetings. We kind of do a lot of stuff. We'd be glad to help you and answer any questions you have. But until then, go away. Have a good time, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.